The day I slipped into death's embrace, I never expected to meet Jesus and uncover revelations that challenge everything you have been told about the afterlife. What hidden truths lie in wait for those brave enough to confront them? Join me as we venture into a profound reality that could shift humanity's understanding forever. Stay with me to unveil these forbidden insights. I remember the frantic rush to the hospital, the blur of my family's worried faces intertwining with the harsh glow of streetlights outside the car window. It felt surreal, as if I were watching the scene unfold from a distance. Even as I fought to stay anchored to reality, the anxiety in their voices echoed in the background. But all the while, I felt myself slipping away, an ineffable detachment, creeping ineffable. One moment, I was locked in a struggle to breathe, chest tight, gasping for something more than air. And the next, darkness enveloped me. I was clinically dead for 7 minutes, a stretch of time that became a complete void. It's strange to think about now. That slip into nothingness felt both terrifying and oddly calming. I could feel my heartbeat faltering, the distant thud in my chest fading as sound faded entirely. A haunting silence surrounded me, a cocoon of stillness that gripped my heart with panic, even as I began to drift into an unsettling calm. The chaos of life blurred into shadows, and I felt myself being drawn into that very darkness, like being pulled into the depths of a silent sea. Yet, in that moment of ultimate surrender, something ineffable called to me. It was a whisper from beyond, threading through the dark, beckoning me onward. I had no idea at that time just how profound the revelations awaiting me were, how they would challenge everything I had ever understood about existence and faith. I was stepping toward a door I didn't yet know existed, through which lay answers I could hardly comprehend. The sense of trepidation mixed with curiosity rolled over me as I began to let go, a prelude to the extraordinary encounter that awaited just beyond the veil. I became aware of floating above my lifeless body, suspended in a surreal space that felt both foreign and oddly familiar. Below me, the frantic bustle of the hospital room was a whirl of movement and sound, yet I experienced an overwhelming sense of detachment, as if I were watching a movie unfold. My family hovered by, their faces etched with worry, but the frantic chaos around me was muted by an all-encompassing calm. It was as if I was enveloped in a bubble of warmth, detached yet deeply connected to everything happening below. As the eeriness of it all settled in, I felt a light emerge from the darkness. It was not blinding. Rather, it wrapped around me like a soft, reassuring blanket. Emotions swirled within this light: love, acceptance, and an indescribable warmth that surged through me. It intensified, growing stronger than anything I had ever known, surpassing the limitations of what I thought love could be. All my worries, fears, and regrets peeled away like layers of an onion, leaving only a pure essence of acceptance in their wake. And then he appeared before me, Jesus, radiant, full of compassion. His presence filled the space with a richness I had only experienced in fleeting moments throughout my life. There was no doubt in my mind. I recognized him instantly, even without the need for word. The atmosphere shifted. A profound gravity imbued every part of this encounter, and my heart swelled with a mix of reverence and vulnerability. The thoughts he transmitted to me were not spoken, but shared in a way that transcended the need for language. It felt as if he was reaching into the very depths of my being, unraveling every notion I had ever held as an imam. There is no single path, he revealed with a serene authority. No exclusive truth. Love encompasses all. Those words resonated within me like a bell tolling in the stillness, a shocking clarity that sent ripples through my understanding of faith and spirituality. Yet, I sensed that the more profound truths were still to unfold. There was something deeper, something that would shake the very foundations of how I viewed my beliefs and the world around me. I felt a tantalizing anticipation, a whisper of what was coming, promising knowledge that would not only ignite my soul, but challenge everything I had ever known. His words were not merely teachings. They were revelations waiting to redefine my reality. In that luminous encounter with Jesus, it felt as though the very fabric of my understanding was being unraveled. He shared revelations that pierced straight to my core, illuminating the deep interconnectedness of humanity. "Ibrahim," he said, his voice smooth and unwavering, "you must see beyond the divisions that separate you." It was a message that challenged not just my teachings, but the entire paradigm of conflict rooted in religious labels. He spoke of a unity of all souls, a tapestry woven together by the threads of love and compassion, where the barriers we build out of fear hold no real power. I listened intently, my heart pounding with disbelief and awakening. "The lies you cling to," he continued, "often stem from the fear of what you do not understand. Let love guide you beyond these superficial separations." How could this be? I felt the weight of my convictions teetering on the brink as I grappled with his words. Everything I had preached, the doctrines I had stood by so fiercely, seemed to crumble like dust in the face of this profound truth. It felt impossible, and yet undeniably right, like a long-buried whisper surfacing to claim its rightful place. "You must remember," he emphasized with a strength that resonated against the confines of my mind, "that love is the essence, not the labels man creates. What truly matters is the soul's journey and intent." The gravity of that statement clung to me, pulling me deeper into the sea of understanding. But it wasn't just the truth that tumbled from his lips. There was a warning wrapped in his compassion, a call to action pulsing with urgency. "If humanity does not change its path," he cautioned, "we may face dire consequences." His eyes bore into mine, filled with a sadness that seemed deeper than the chasms of the universe, urging me to absorb the weight of his message. In that moment, I felt the profound importance of what had been shared with me. This was not merely an insight to cherish, it was a responsibility to uplift. The foresight of a divided world echoed in my heart. Was I ready to carry this forbidden truth back with me? Would I find a way to bridge the chasms that separate us and spark a movement toward understanding and love? The realization surged within me, mingling with both fear and hope. I had been chosen to witness this divine truth, but with it came the burden of sharing it. Would this revelation ignite a flame of transformation? Or would it be met with resistance in the face of beloved, yet limiting beliefs? The answer hung in the air, both exhilarating and terrifying. My journey was just beginning, and all I could do was prepare to step into the unfolding unknown. Suddenly, I was thrust back into my body, jolting up from that unfathomable state of peace. Confusion and disorientation gripped me as I realized I was alive again. The sterile smell of the hospital filled my nostrils, and the beeping of machines surged back into focus like an intrusive reminder of reality. I blinked against the harsh fluorescent lights, feeling the weight of this second chance crash over me like ocean waves. It was both jarring and exhilarating. As I opened my eyes fully, the world felt different. The mundane seemed impossibly beautiful. The soft hum of conversation, the vitality in the faces around me, even the slight rustle of the sheets on the hospital bed, felt like a symphony awakening my senses. Each breath was no longer just an instinctive action. It was a reminder of my purpose, a call to embrace the life I had returned to with renewed vigor. But amidst this unfolding wonder, a heaviness settled in my chest. I faced a choice. Do I reveal this truth to my community, knowing it might challenge their deep-rooted faith, knowing it could lead to rejection, perhaps even ostracism? The internal conflict simmered within me, a battle between the fear of isolation and the urgency to share the liberation I had discovered. I envisioned their faces, some who had trusted me, others who likely couldn't fathom the depths of my experience. Would they see me as a bridge to a broader understanding, or as a threat to their beliefs? Ultimately, I chose to share my journey. With every fiber of my being, I felt the weight of responsibility behind these forbidden truths. It wasn't just for me. It was for all souls searching for meaning, those who felt lost amidst the structures and divisions we so often cling to. In those revelations, I believe there existed a liberating force just waiting to open minds and hearts to push against the boundaries that separate us. Let us unite in compassion. Embracing humanity beyond labels. We are all part of something much larger, and this era demands change. A reconnection to the essence of love that binds us. This isn't just my journey. It's ours. A call to awaken to the beauty in our differences while seeking the common threads that weave us together. Thank you for joining me on this journey. May love light your path as profoundly as it did mine. I encourage you to reflect. How have your beliefs shaped your view of others? I invite you to share your thoughts, your experiences, and your stories. Let's cultivate a space of dialogue, a community where understanding reigns, and every voice adds a unique note to our shared symphony.